January 26, 2020. How are you all? I would like to speak with you about the symbolism of astrology, coronavirus, and other things that are happening in the world, and how we see them through astrology and what we should expect for the months to come. As we have explained a long time ago, January 2020 is a new world order, is a life changer. And even that is very hard to see what is it all taking us when we are inside this shift. Pluto-Saturn conjuncted in January 12th. It was the same 24 hours of Uranus moving direct and a lunar eclipse in Cancer on the same weekend. And it's immense. We are literally in the new year, Chinese New Year, year of the rat, and it's not just a new year, this is a new cycle that we just out of the year of the pig. So much symbolism coming in this too. So it's not easy at all with what seems to happen in China right now, a virus that is spreading around, and it's very much giving worries, thoughts, and wonders. Months ago I spoke that one of the options, more than natural disasters, changes, Uranus and Taurus, I spoke about that this could be something like epidemic in society, what actually will help to explode the real estate market, meaning people will need to go out from the city from where massive population are concentrated to find more fresh air and more natural resources or space to be safe. Saturn is ready to finish Capricorn. This is taking 3 years. It's entered to Capricorn in 2017. End of 2017, we spoke that regulation is about to increase, and we saw it in different physical policies. And when it's going to enter to Aquarius, and just a few months after meeting with Pluto, it's about controlling people and blocking of people. Very interesting thing to think about as well is what Aquarius is ruling, more than just the internet, high technologies, space developments, also our neurological system, nervous system. Uranus is ruling Aquarius and Uranus are ruling our magnetic electricity activity. Everything is magnetic, and we exposed to this by so many routers surrounding us, and how our brain and neurotransmitters are working. So this is something that we understand it is going to be ruled and related. So it's also very scary, because the last time Uranus was in Taurus represent our earth and our body and life. When last time Uranus was in Taurus was when Hitler came to control, and a lot of life disappeared through gas and neurological gas, nervous gas that killed. So that's what actually viruses are doing, attacking our neurological system as well. Now, it's not the end. We spoke in the last videos and the Get Prepared 2020 and all the rest videos that I showed what are about to come inside of this epic year of 2020, is that a lot of signs are going to change from earth to air. It's very much showing or can tell a story about censoring the internet, about blocking and separating. What Saturn as a blocker is like to do in the sign of Aquarius from this March on is to create separation. This is the ghetto. I used this description more than once, specifically since Jupiter entered to Capricorn too. And this is what we are seeing now happening in China. As maybe just a start of a story. We just inside of this activation happened. So I'm very much worried, and it's scary about blocking entire population in different areas in the world, and actually still, like, how some people in the US or other places in the world behaved when the Holocaust happened. Yeah, they show them different videos with this black and white TVs, but no, it took some years until people realized that this is horrific activity is happening there in Europe before anything changed. So this is very much the repetition, because in this November 2020 we are going to have Saturn-Jupiter conjunction in Aquarius. So this is going to unveil to us all this maybe motive or the truth to all those separation about the viruses and who is really controlling it, or who really generated it, or what was the purpose of it. And it will be probably a shocking revelation, I believe, and maybe what will finally waking up a lot of masses people to make a change. Gemini is ruling our respiratory system and our hands. And look what's the way to get infected, or how this virus, coronavirus, can be spreading. This is very much Gemini. So it's not just about now protecting our data, it's more about protecting our zones and separating ourselves, or even being in big crisis as now is happening in Wuhan city, 11 million people in a ghetto. I spoke in many other videos that Pluto-Saturn conjunction also in Capricorn is going to transform what success is. So right now you are still agreeing that success is making a lot of money, being famous in a way that makes a lot of money, and, you know, accumulating, having, influencing. And it seems that since this conjunction, this is the burn of the bonds, Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn, we're going to see a totally different story about what success is. And I believe that the success will be related to how much health you hold, how healthy you look. Now, a very interesting thing that I would like to share very quickly, I was looking for charts of different countries and trying to unveil or to understand what may be the scenario with the new data that we are having in the news, and not specifically only the coronavirus, which could be a disaster for humanity, and or maybe a great wake-up call to how we need to treat ourselves and our immune system and how to engage with the hive of the capitalistic world. And the question here, how? No one wants to be illegal, no one wants to get punished, right? But think about it, that also in the Inquisition time, people never wanted to get punished by not being a good Christian or a good other thing. And this is always a fear from whether are the church or this is another, or God, or someone will punish, until the people arrive to a certain point of truth and self-convincement to know that it is okay to do what I want, even the punishment is above my head, because it's not logic, or I agree to go against the rule in a way. So I'm just trying to summarize quickly different things. I spoke already in not many videos ago about the US, what is happening here between February to the next year already, and it seems not good at all. Saturn, by the beginning of February 2020, is going to conjunct the Pluto of the United States in the second house. So this is very much speaking about a start of a depression or crisis and values. Also, Saturn is going to do 180 degrees to Mercury in the 8th house of the United States. Mercury of the United States in 24 degrees of Cancer, and Saturn will be in Capricorn of 24 degrees. And this is going to maybe create here a very major decision regards data and infection, or Another blocking, I think that in the world we are going to see a trial of governments to block and separate people due to different threats that they will tell us, whether some of them are true by the circumstance, others will be their trials to separate us, because how they are controlling people, how the pyramid, how the construction, how the build, how this structure controlling people, creating fear, of course, but separating. Through separation, you can control easily people. And when people are coming along together, and that's what I'm calling people to start searching for, this is much difficult to control you as individual. And the more you are independent, individual, working alone, you are more vulnerable to threats right now. So it's something that we are very much need to think about. And this is actually the call of Uranus and Taurus that wants to help us creating communities with like-minded people and not just with masses of other people that you just want to be lost inside. It's like creating new organism of people like you that's creating a new sort of body. Yeah, like companies doing, but not for money's sake, but for many other levels of why unifying powers with others. So Neptune in 2021 in the US, transit Neptune will oppose the natal Neptune that just activated by Pluto Saturn of the US, and seems about a massive worry about healthcare, and something that maybe start unfolding right now with what is happening. And it could take some years as virus is starting to infect millions of people around the world. People start being shocked, scared, and escaping from a massive cities population to save themselves. And we saw already about thousands of people dying from very severe pneumonia. And this is very much scary. Gemini is ruling the, very typical to find. I'm Gemini. Gemini are very much related to hands and all what comes with hands, also creativity, also communicating with hands, and also respiratory system. First part of my life, I was asthmatic, very hard asthma. And a lot of Gemini people or people with strong Gemini could have this debilization organism, but it's very much related to air, to how we are, and it's all about air signs. Together with Saturn in the Aquarius, influence is neurological, is the nervous system also, and all what we are seeing shifting of magnetic fields in the world and all the climate changes that is so easy to detect all over the world right now. So the world is changing in front of our eyes. If you are not familiar with my past videos, I'm here down in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I spoke in the beginning of January or even the end of December that I'm planning to do a far travel and to collect, and this actually was my call, to go to a place that is not part of the northern hemisphere, and spreading also the information I'm sharing into the Spanish. And it wasn't very easy decision to make, and still I trusted my inner call doing it, and I will unveil for other people here in the next couple of months I'm here why and what I'm doing actually here. So the information will be unveiled. Now, looking on the Israel natal chart, seems that a challenge is starting to unfold, specifically this spring in the northern hemisphere to come, March to June. Seems something severe is happening, maybe the declaration of the century plan in the Middle East. Saturn trying to rule the access of China into the world. But it's Aquarius, it's rebellious, so it will be very hard to control it. And it's going to be very interesting phenomenon happening in the coming months and maybe 2 years. Finally, I do see China growing and taking advantage of what is going to happen in the rest of the world. Maybe they will have the solution to stop the epidemic, or to purchase, or to conquer in different way the world through what is going to unfold. And we don't want to imagine it spreading really what is happening in one little village in China, in Europe, or other place. This month is also about to happen the Brexit, and we are almost overwhelmed with so much information that is happening from different places. Just a few months ago, the Amazon fire, millions of animals and trees damaged part of our infrastructure as organism on Earth. The Australia events that is still happening, and this is very much worrying. Iran, Uranus in 22 degrees. This is massive. We see it, the signs. Now we cannot tell exactly the image, how it's going to unfold, but we see the energies, and we see that massive movements are about to come. And all what is happening right now in this winter of the Northern Hemisphere, here it's immense summer, about 30 degrees, amazing. This is a preparation to the craziness I'm expecting to happen from March on, March 2020, Saturn moving to Capricorn, to Aquarius. Interestingly enough, that is going to help very much to cryptocurrency, the money and the control of the people. Who needs dollars? Who needs their banks? We can have value between ourselves. And it's not the topic of this video, but my charts are showing and indicating a very impressive rally from more literally April, okay? But it could be involved on the same time with a lot of shocks and events that could be scary and creating a lot of panic. A lot of people. This is movement. This is air element. So many changes would need to be taken. And the trade, Venus retrograded in Gemini, and the trade, the value of things is about to shift drastically. That people could barely will be able to adjust to it. And as I've spoke already in the stock market, it seems that something very big is happening from end of February already into March, and something that's going to be strong decline. And of course, as we're getting more details with virus or maybe other thing, what may unfold with North Korea and Iran, and events that may happen in the Middle East now with Israeli election. And what I'm seeing to come seems that the U.S. both U.S. and Israel in a very non-good place in 2021. And it's not happening in one day, it's culminating into this place. Because Gemini is representing our ability to communicate. And when we are communicating, we're taking breath, we are speaking, we are giving hands, we are doing contracts, all these things. And with this all background planets doing those changes, we understand that all of those way of communication, way of contracts are about to shift in our face. Hopefully it was useful, resonating with you, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm Osher, astrologer.